On a scale of 1 to 10, how horny are you at any given moment?
Just a number.
5?
5.
Probably 7.
7.
1.
1. 2.
7. 6.
Maybe 8.
I don't really get like what he's doing there. He's just kind of doing his own thing. Like,
I'm just gonna be neutral. I'm pretty sure I'm like a 5. I don't feel very horny.
Okay.
7.
Anywhere from like 5 to 7.
Any given moment?
Any given moment.
It could be a 10. And it could be a 1.
7.
7. 6.
-3.
Okay, pie.
100.
One more time.
100.
it's just kind of like, whoa!
Welcome to Wesleyan University, what has recently been called the nation's horniest campus. We are here today at Wesleyan University to find out if this is true. We are going to take it to the students, the faculty, and the administration to find out. What do you feel about Wesleyan being called the horniest school in the country?
I think it is a great reputation. And
Do you think it's true?
no, because I think every college, you know, has kind of a sexual environment. I think we're just more open about it.
I think that a higher percentage of people at the school go out than at other schools. At like big universities where they're known for partiers, I think this school actually gets way more partiers, and with that comes a lot more sex. So we may not go as hard as some schools, but I think way more people do it, so I think that's why we have a lot more people having sex, and it's why it's known as a hornier school.
It's more like a lot of people, like girl on girl, guy on guy, guy on girl, and then girl on guy and stuff. Like everyone's having sex.
What about Wesleyan makes it the nation's horniest university?
I guess people are pretty like open about talking about their like love lives or whatever, as well as like I don't know. There's just like it seems like it's just accepted to like hook up with whoever you want, and I think also in addition to other campuses, like people in the LGBTQ community are like much more accepted here. So like that type of hookup culture is also really robust and like it's accepted and people are totally down. For the most part, are like really down with it. So I think that also contributes to like more people that feel comfortable like expressing themselves. So there's even more hookups than I guess other campuses where like that's not accepted so much.
Do you think people are experimental on campus with their sexuality?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they're more experimental on our campus than other campuses.
Or I think like everyone is open to people like to experimentation. Like no one really. There's something that's like off limits. I guess like that's like frowned on. I think except for like really like weird shit.
Really.
Judging by the party scene, I think a lot of gentlemen and women express themselves, and you know, I think that's a very accurate description. So yeah.
Yeah, everyone everyone's like really chill about sex. Like it's really funny to me that like
Compared to high school.
Compared to high school, it's like oh yeah, like whatever. I don't know. It's like really casual, which is interesting, which is new, I guess.
Well, I don't think that we're actually more horny than other campuses. I think we're just more open about sex.
In what way?
That we talk about it. Yeah. I also think it's more of a reputation than an actual reality.
My gay roommate came home last night and was talking to me about how he hooked up with a bunch of random guys at a senior party. I feel like in a lot of schools, people feel uncomfortable saying something like that, but he was like just completely open telling someone he just met this week that he was, you know, hooking up with random guys. And, like,
I just think like a lot of the people are like really kind of like open-minded and like totally like, and with that comes like totally like down to like meet new people and like explore themselves like sexually and emotionally, and like it's not just like sexual, but I feel like that like aspect of exploration kind of, that makes people more like sexually open than like in other campuses.
I don't think Wesleyan is. I think it could be the idea of Wesleyan being such a liberal place. That might have led them to the conclusion that we are probably very overt when it comes to being sexually open. I think there are schools in this country that are more horny than Wesleyan.
Do you think the campus's size has anything to do with how horny it is?
I think it does, because like it makes it like more intimate. So like you can have a class with someone, and then you like see them at a party, and you're like, yo, like what's up, and then like things lead to other things, and But I feel like having that sort of intimate campus, it just makes like meeting people and knowing people a lot easier than it would be at a big campus, where you kind of have to go out of your way to run into someone as opposed to Wesleyan, where you just basically walk outside of your dorm and there's people you've seen around right in front of you.
I know, like, at least visiting other friends that go to schools, like, in cities over the fall break, I saw that since they, like, go other places off of campus so often, like, there's so many other things to do, while we're, like, always together and we're, like, isolated from the rest of the world, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna hook up with other people. Like, that's, like, what we do. So I think our location plays a big part of it. And I noticed, like, on those other campuses, like, talking to my friends, like, the number of people they, like, felt comfortable hooking up with or have hooked up with was much different than, like, a typical, what I conceive to be, like, a typical average here. And those were, like, city schools, like, bigger city schools.
So is there, like a stigma against relationships, sort of, almost?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I'd say that relationships, as far as I've seen, just don't really exist here. I get kind of frustrated with how it's like just like people hooking up, like it's not something that I really find like extremely negative, but just how people only hook up like exclusively and there's not as much like dating, because I feel like that should still be like an option if that's like something you want to do. But I almost feel like there's kind of like a societal like pressure at the school to not be like emotionally involved with someone, to just hook up with them and even hook up with them repeatedly but not have something more develop out of it.
We'll just like meet and I really get it in all the time, but then are like, this is not a relationship, it's fine, let's just do this.
Yeah, and then they're weirdly exclusive, but God, if you call it dating, Jesus, there will be problems.
Right.
Here, like, I've seen, like, a few exceptions in, like, older students, like, upperclassmen and stuff, but for the most part, it's just really, like, a hookup culture, as far as I've seen. Like, people don't really, like, date. They just have, like, one-night stands, and that's, like, about it.
And what I've seen is, I think that early, like, stuff happens where they do hook up, and then they hook up again, I feel like, and starts to make a pattern, and some people have, like, a person they just hook, like, can I say fuck buddy?
Yes, you can.
They have a fuck buddy.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And some people actually do develop emotional relationships, but I feel like there's a struggle for like maintaining those relationships here. And I've seen a lot of people like go a couple months and then lose something. So I feel like it's hard to maintain an actual relationship.
Hi, Cabri. Do you think that STI awareness is something that Wesleyan students are concerned about?
Yeah, I think just as a campus as a whole, most people are pretty aware of it and they take the necessary precautions to prevent those things. You know, like, usually, like, if people are going to plan on, like, hooking up with someone, they, like, have condoms and stuff. And I think it's kind of something that people are just aware of and are careful about in general.
Natalie, do you think Wesleyan has a positive awareness of STIs?
What are STIs?
You don't know what STIs are?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we can't really be sure if Wesleyan is the nation's horniest campus. Yes, it is horny, but aren't all college campuses? Although we may not be able to answer this question, we did learn a lot about what defines Wesleyan's sexuality. And there are certainly some characteristics about our campus that help us at least be perceived as horny. To begin, we are very open about talking about our sexuality. People like to talk about experimentation. Members of the LGBTQ community are incredibly accepted. And we seem to have a really party-oriented campus, which leads to lots of inebriated sexual encounters. Like, let's be honest.
I mean, I would definitely think that, especially with the openness, it's like amazing that the fact that we can actually talk to these kids and the fact that they're willing to answer our questions on video is a testament to how open they are, and everyone's sort of comfortable talking about that too.
Relationships on campus seem to be conducive to excessive amounts of hooking up. People seem to shun long-term relationships and seem to prefer one-night stands. People even seem to be scared of the idea of commitment, so that's very conducive to sexuality. Also, our location seems to play into our campus's need for sexuality. Unlike a city school, we lack off-campus entertainment, so people seem to center on campus and look around for what can entertain them, which oftentimes is sex. On top of this, the small campus allows for everyone to be like really close, so meeting new people and hooking up with new people is no problem at all.
And also another factor that comes into play is our STI awareness and things like that. I took a trip to the condom room recently, actually, and it turns out that the condoms are actually used pretty well. A lot of these stores are pretty empty. People like to use their lube and spermicide and things like that. So people are definitely like aware of STIs and working to prevent and go against that, which also allows people to be more safe and more. They feel that it's okay to not hook up with more people because the entire school is well aware of STIs and it's not as big of an issue as it could be in other schools.
With that said, there were some cases of people being startlingly unaware of the danger of STIs. And so that will conclude our project on human sexuality and the Wesleyan experience.
Cause I'm in my zone, she got two sides, like duality, hit it up in the school, human sexuality, up in the club, best thing smoking, STDs for real though, no joking, high like Weezy, throw them ceilings up, fucked with Park, call it necrophilia.